So I asked a question. Not really a question, really rhetorical. I asked, what's so special about New Orleans? Because like I said, the Sugar Bowl wasn't the only game in town. Um, then you think about it, it's just a primer because the special thing about it is that, or what's special about New Orleans this year is that the Super Bowl will be there in probably less than a month, right? In a month, the Super Bowl will be held in New Orleans, that Superdome, right? And that's when the most eyes will be on the city. Whether you watch the Super Bowl for the game, the halftime show, or the commercials, right? That's when they will have the spotlight on New Orleans. So you think about what just happened there compared to, a lot of things that's been happening or has happened. You know, on the grand scheme of it, you look at it big picture. You realize that this is just the um what term I'm looking for. This is just the beginning phase of whatever they got planned. This is just the beginning of that. You know what I mean? So them plowing into the crowd is, you know, there's something bigger. There's something bigger brewing. Um, I would like to be wrong, but that's not what I've seen in my years here. There's always something else. There's always another shoe. Um, there's always another shoe waiting to drop. Right? Um, we we've been lured or lulled into a false sense of security. Um, most of us feel or felt like since the Harris campaign flamed out and that um, we see that the world sees now that Biden is not fit for the Oval Office, or is not fit to run again, or not fit for pretty much anything. That with Trump coming in, that the country will go back to normal. What most of us have failed to realize is that in this last month or so, this is the most Biden has been seen since in probably 3 years, right? He's passing all kind of bills. He's making all kind of public appearances. He's giving all kind of statements and everything, right? Now you got to understand that this is coming from, or this all of this is being done by someone who's been deemed mentally unfit. He's declining mentally to the point where his vice president had to take over, basically, and run for president in his place. But he's fit to carry on as president until the inauguration. He's fit to make decisions on what to do with taxpayers' funds and fit to wield the power of the president still after we deemed him unfit for presidential duties. Ah, you can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit up. So, but you can't make this shit up. So in this last month, he's probably done the most he's done in 3 years. I mean, he's been on the rampage. He's been going ham. He's been doing whatever he feels like it. You feel me? Not to mention, the pardon of his son that we all knew was coming, even though they said it wasn't coming. Because he's uphold the law. He's never upheld the law. He's always felt like he's been above it. If you feel me, for forever, for generations. But anyway, so I feel like the plan that they have now is the plan that they had in place. The only difference is they wasn't expecting Biden to deteriorate so fast and it to be seen by the masses. People they kept him hidden for a good minute. You know what I mean? And we already knew Kamala wasn't fit. We already knew she was a diversity hire. So the people behind the screen, or behind the scenes, pulling the strings of Biden, they kind of lost control after the debate. They couldn't hide him anymore, right? So they moved on to Kamala, and they couldn't hide her anymore. So now they got to ratchet up their plan a little bit. They got to put a more of a haste to it. So they've been using the media to prime your mind. From upcoming pandemics, upcoming terror attacks, New Orleans. I mean, they had a mass shooting probably like a couple weeks ago. It didn't get the coverage this is getting, right? You would think that one person plowing a truck into a crowd of people wouldn't command as much attention. But if you label it a terrorist attack, you label it ISIS, and you use a ex-military Muslim guy, and then it checks all the boxes of a terror attack, right? So now we're bracing for the next the next big event. So I won't be surprised if during the Super Bowl something happens, or during Super Bowl week something happens. I mean, they already planting the ideal in your mind of bombs, bombings, pipe bombs they can't find, and just shit like that, right? So I won't be surprised if something devastating was to happen. I mean, just look at it, beef. Because think about this: with all the stuff that Trump is talking, all the stuff he's trying to do, he's gonna walk into you feel me? His situation is not gonna be easy. They're gonna make sure that he has the most. I'm talking about his plate is gonna be full when he gets in office. He's gonna be dealing with so much. They're gonna make sure of it, because I'm pretty sure with him winning in the fashion that he did, it's put a lot of their plans on fast track. They've been planning a lot of this stuff, but I'm pretty sure they wasn't planning on executing it this early or this soon. But they don't have a choice. You know what I mean? Not that I feel like, you feel me? Okay, I feel like Trump is America first, but I also feel like there's probably a couple people in this cabinet, a couple people in this that does that, because there's always There's always somebody that you overlooked when it comes to character, when it comes to um, agenda. You know what I mean? A lot of people would love to see America burn. You know what I'm saying? They would love to see um, a mass a mass casualty event. You know, there's a lot of people out there just waiting for the fall, right? There's a lot of people just waiting, fingers crossed. They want to see tragedy, and there's a lot of people, and the reason they want to see it is because after, what comes after that. You know, after 9/11, we had got the Patriot Act and all kind of laws, and you know, so after everything, after it's always something after, right? So, and we have a some kind of big terror attack, and then we can find a group to blame it on, and then we can have a reason to go drop bombs or start World War III, right? We're basically looking for a reason at this point. We've been looking for a reason for a while. Um, that's why we've been getting involved in stuff that don't have anything to do with us. That's why we're sending guns, we're sending weapons, we're sending troops. We really want to ratchet this thing up a little bit. You feel me? We really want this world war, right? And then we want this new world order, and then we want this one world government, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's always a plan, right? So, whatever our next attack is, or whatever's gonna happen next, we're gonna find a group to pin it on, and we're gonna use that to get involved in the bombing of, um, I don't know, you name a Muslim country, and this is all for the. I could be wrong, but there's a greater Israel plan, right? A greater Israel plan. There's always a greater Israel plan. I mean, this is the reason why Kennedy brings us in the back of a limousine. Um, this is the reason for a lot of things. This is the reason for the billions of dollars we send. This is the reason for the APAC funded politicians. You know, so we all know who controls America. It's no secret. Um, who you can't speak on, um, who you can't have an opinion on, um, who's the first class citizens of the world. You feel me? Shit. But yeah. But in my opinion, I could be wrong. But yeah, all of this is just a primer. So, buckle up, man. We in for a bumpy ride in 2025. You feel me? Shit gonna get crazy.